So I am so excited about today. I have been thinking about this for months, and I even have props. Jesus is calling. All right. So let me get I don't need to sit in the seat. I need to use the seat. All right. And you guys are allowed to participate. It makes it more fun. But I want you to take a look at this cup. All y'all got a cup coming in, or you should have. And if you didn't, I promise we will get you one. But let me know, yell out some descriptive words of this cup. Anybody? It's whole. It's shiny. It's white. It's beautiful. Lisa. Empty. Okay. I didn't think of that one. All right. What else? It's whole but empty. It is flawless. It's delicate. It's fragile. Man, y'all are good. Useful. There we go. Useful. Let's see what else if I have. It's functional. But let me show you something. I didn't think this through, how I'm going to use a mic with. I have a flashlight. And it did work. It works. I'm good. I'll show you. When I take the flashlight and I shine it through the cup, you can't see it. Right? Okay. So let me show you what I'm going to do. This represents the cup that all of us try to be. We try to be perfect. We try to be flawless. We try to be exceptional. We don't try to be empty. It's not full, though. We try to be something, I don't know, when my kids were younger, I always tried to be that Pinterest mom. You know, you try to get on there, and it just makes you feel like a failure as a parent. You get on and you see everything, what everyone does. And what we want to do is we want to protect our life. So we put a bubble around it. We want to live in this bubble. We want to be protected. We want to be flawless. We want to be, nothing is wrong in our life. You know, Facebook is kind of like a highlight reel. We don't see the real problems, although some people put all their problems. But most of the times, the ones that you look at, it's just a highlight reel. You see this bubble. It's the protection that we have. And then this thing called life happens. And it cracks. And we have all of these things that happen to us, and we feel shattered, and we feel broken. Whether it be divorce, whether it be depression, whether it be someone talking bad about you, whether it be a disappointment. So now let me pick up my cup. I have all of these pieces that represent my life, that represent everything that I think that I am or that I think that I'm not. So no matter how I put these pieces back together, they will never go back the way that they originally were. Because I have this cup over here. Remember this perfect cup that we're trying to be? The perfect cup that we want to be? We're never going to get back there because we're here. And I'm losing pieces out the bottom. So what's so cool is that when you develop a relationship with Jesus Christ, he comes and he picks up these pieces. And he begins to put the pieces back together. So I've got my super glue. He's the glue that puts us together. He's the one that takes all of our imperfections, everything that we see wrong in our lives, every flaw that we have. You know, I smiled the other day, and I have these lines that no one tells you about that you're going to get them whether you try not to or not, and they just show up. And then the kids will point them out that you have them. But what I see in that, instead of getting discouraged, I'm reminded of the things that I've been through. I'm reminded of the life that I've gone through. I'm reminded of the testimony that I get to be to everybody else that's maybe not my age, that's growing up and that's going through things, that doesn't have the perfect relationship, whose husband just walked out on them, whose kids are completely disappointed in them, who's maybe just lost their job, who maybe just lost a loved one. I get to be a testimony to them because I've gone through those things too. So God takes my pieces and he starts to put them back together. I didn't practice this, so I'm not really going to glue them, but you guys, I'll probably stick my fingers to the microphone, and then Pastor Matt will not have a mic tomorrow. This is where we use that wisdom that comes with age. But y'all get what I'm trying to do. So let's take a look at a Bible story. There's no scriptures yet, but Ruth and Naomi, okay, one of my favorites. If you look at the story, you've got these two women. You have Ruth, who's the daughter-in-law of Naomi, and then they have another sister-in-law or daughter-in-law, whatever you want to put it, and their husbands are all gone. So you've got the three of them, and they're going to go on a journey. And I've got a great mother-in-law, so I would be okay with this. You've got Ruth, who will not leave Naomi's side. And Naomi's telling her, but you don't understand, I have nothing to give you. We're going to go back to where I came from, where Naomi was. And she's saying, Ruth, I need you to go back to your family. Go back to the people that you know. Go back to where you can start a life. You can get remarried. You can take these pieces. They're taking the deaths of their husbands. They have nothing because, back then it was up to the men. But they had nothing, but they stuck together. So they go to where Naomi came from, and they're there, and she sent Ruth out to go in the field and do what's called gleaning. So she went through, and let me explain to you what gleaning is. You've got someone in the field, and they're picking up all of the grain, and they're going through and they're harvesting the grain to go and sell. So what Ruth would do is she would go out, and if they would miss one, she'd pick it up, and she'd get to keep that. And that's what she got to take back to her family. So that's what she was doing to take back to Naomi. So she was gleaning through to go get all of the broken pieces, all of the things that were missed to be able to provide. And Boaz sees her because she's in one of the fields. Now Boaz, and I'm going a little more in detail because I love the Bible and I love this story. He was related to Naomi's husband, so the father-in-law was related there. And he sees her, and he's an older, wealthier man. And he sees her gleaning in the field. So he goes up to the people that were harvesting there, and he said, I want you to take it easy on her. Basically, leave some behind to make sure she's taken care of. So Boaz goes and makes sure, and then eventually he ends up marrying her. So what does this have anything to do with the broken pieces? You had two women in the beginning of the story who thought they had absolutely nothing, and they had no idea how they were going to survive. But they took the little bits, and God constantly provided for them and ended up changing generations from then on, because from the lineage that we see, we eventually get David from Ruth and Boaz. So, see, I know my Bible too. I got this. So another story that we see where things, we use what most will look at as a bad thing and turn for good. Let's look at Adam and Eve. It starts out in the sin that they had should have sent them to death, but it didn't. And then we go and we see how all of the broken situations always come to good. So where we're looking at our lives and trying to figure out how in the world, whether your childhood wasn't good, whether you were picked on in school, whether you have a failed relationship, we try to use those as a negative thing, but God takes it and he pieces them all together, not only for your testimony, but also so that you're able to go out and to talk to other people, and so that you're stronger and able to help people through. So not everything will be perfect. Things are always going to go wrong, okay? Jaden, go ahead and put up 2 Corinthians for me. Sorry, he's doing camera and live and everything else. I've got him running all over. So in 2 Corinthians, we see that we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. That's important. Take a look at my cup. It's broken, but it's not crushed. We still have pieces to put back together. We still have the events in our lives that we're able to put back together to make another cup. It's not going to look the same, because nothing is ever going to look the same as it began, but we have the pieces to put together. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted but not abandoned. That's big right there. Because a lot of us, what happens is when things go wrong in our lives, we just want to be alone and we feel completely alone and completely helpless. But if you've got Jesus on your side, you're never going to be alone. It doesn't matter how far you run. It doesn't matter how hard you hide. It doesn't matter. You can be in the dark room and he's going to be right there with you and you will feel him. What you feel in your gut, I call it a God moment. What you feel in your gut, that's God right there with you. He's saying, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. I am right here with you. So you're not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. So we still have our pieces that we're able to put back together. Jaden, go to 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation is overtaken you that it is not common to man. God is what? Faithful. Say it one more time. What is he? Faithful. He's faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond your what? Ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide a way of what? Absolutely. That you may be able to what? So no matter what you're going through, scripture right here, he's not leaving you. The saying that I always hear is God is never going to give you more than what you can handle. That's baloney. Okay, let me explain why. God will allow more things to happen to you that you cannot handle because you're not supposed to handle it on your own. So when you hear someone say that, that's a good time to start saying, let me tell you what, I've been handed some stuff that I wasn't able to handle on my own, but let me tell you who walked me through. Let me tell you who got me through this. And that's when you get to open up and you get to start sharing your testimony. That's why you go through the things that you go through. I know a lot of us in this room are going through a lot of junk, and it's going to happen. Unfortunately, it's just going to happen. But you get to be victorious in the end. And eventually, you get to talk to somebody that you get to share how you got through it. It says right here, he will provide a way of escape and so that you'll be able to endure it. It doesn't say it's going to be easy. It doesn't say that you're going to do it without tears. It doesn't say that, you'll make it through completely without help. He's waiting for you to give him permission to intervene. Go ahead, Jaden, to the next one. I don't remember the next one. That's why I said go to the next one. Let's go to 1 Peter 5:10. That was the first one. All right, here we go. But it comes in great right now. After you have what? A what? A little while. Does it say your whole life? Does it say 50 years? Does it say 50 minutes? It doesn't give us a time. It says a little while. You are going to suffer. I know that's so encouraging to hear right now. But you are going to suffer. It's going to happen. But be encouraged because the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ with himself, will restore, confirm, what's that word? Strengthen and establish you. If we could it was so awesome to hear everybody sing just a little bit ago because we all knew those words. Amen. Now my question is, why aren't we living them out? Why don't we take these words to these songs that we all know so well and live them out? Why do we take ourselves just and leave it in a bag of pieces? Why do we walk around like a bag of pieces when God is saying, hey, come here. I'm the glue. I'm the glue. I got this. Let's take this divorce. Got it. Let's take those people that you thought were your best friends and talked bad about you. Got it. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, rape or molestation. Let's take that piece. Got it. What else do we have? Let's take the bullying that you went through. All of those bullies that you had. Got it. Another piece put back together. Let's take a smaller piece. Let's take a piece that you're like, I don't want anyone to know. I don't want anyone to know this piece right here. No one gets to know this piece right here. Guess what? God knows it. He can use it. This is the missing piece. This is the missing piece to your cup that you're supposed to put back so you get to be whole again. You're going to be different, but you get to be whole again. You don't get to be empty anymore. You get to be whole again. You get to be filled. But in order for you to become filled, you got to let this piece go. You got to let him take this piece and put the glue back in to complete your piece. So I feel like this isn't even on my notes. I was this morning like setting my alarm and trying to get up and have God talk to me, and I've got 2 more pages that I'm not even going to go through because I feel like I just need to be stuck right here. Because there are pieces that we're not letting go, and we're not able to overflow into other people's lives and be able to share our testimonies to other people because we are not letting this piece right here, this tiny, insignificant piece that we feel like doesn't matter, we're not letting it go, and we're not allowing God to use us in our full capacity because we don't want anyone to know this. I'm not saying go share your junk on Facebook. Don't mishear me. I'm saying this is the piece that you have to let go. This is the piece that you have to put back in your cup so that when God fills you up, you're not leaking, you're overflowing. So the glue also represents the healing that you get to have. You get to put all of these pieces back together, but you're not doing it by yourself. You know, it says that our Father is the potter and we are the clay. We're taking all of these pieces and we're putting it back together. So we have this glue that we get to have back together. So remember in the beginning that if you could, where'd my flashlight go? I lost it. In the beginning, we couldn't see the flashlight through our cup. Well, my flashlight doesn't want to work. But if we take these 2 pieces and we try to put them together, what do we have? We have the light that shines through. So when we have Jesus Christ living inside of us, our light, we're able to take the broken pieces and we're able to let the light shine through. And that's how we reach other people. That's how we use our testimony. That's how we use all of these pieces that we have in this bag right here, all of these failures that we see. And we take and we put them all back together. And we put them all back together, then someone sees you and they go, man, you've really been through a lot in your life. And you go, yeah, I know, but let me tell you what God has done for me. Let me tell you the things that I've been through. Let me let my light shine through so that you can know what I've been through, but he's brought me through it. That's when you get the chance to share the love of Jesus Christ with other people. That's when you get permission to be able to talk to them and bring them on over. So with that, never look at yourself again just as a bag of broken pieces, because in the end, you are absolutely beautifully broken.